and welcome back again to another episode of Dragon Age 2. Potentially the last episode. I don't know how much more waves of Templars we have to fight through, but I think we're getting close anyway. Maybe let's have a look at the quest. So yeah, fight through Templar army to get out of the gallows. This is apparently what we have to do. There's a room in here with some Templars. Maybe let's check this out. I'm not sure if I want to disturb them, to be honest. I mean, this is just a dead end. But let's just go and see what's going on here. Okay, apparently they seem to be ignoring me. Well, that's nice. Oh, well, so much for the ignoring me. Well, this is an interesting little group here. Okay, I'm going to start with a Desire Demon. And yeah, I stunned most of them. And let's continue with her. Oh. Something happened to Varric. There may be a blood mage around here somewhere. Yeah, there's a blood mage around here, so totally. No, not that. I want to use a glyph. Maybe over here. And after that, let's see. I think you should put the blood mage in a crushing prison. Right? And I will continue with her. And you can just drown the room in fire, Bethany. Yeah, the blood mage is now over here, so I probably should deal. Hey, let me go by. I want to reach that damn blood mage. Where is he? Okay, maybe I should take care of him first. It is a him, right? I think it's a him. Alright. There we go. Another blood mage over here. Dead. And now the remaining mages. Alright. Alright.
Dear Varric, please learn to parry. Love your innards.
I'm sorry, Varric. That was my fault. I didn't assess the situation correctly. I didn't notice the blood mages. Alright. Let's pick up our loot. And yeah, that's all mostly useless now. Okay, so yeah, let's move on. I'm not sure, apparently I have to go through here? Yeah, I have to go through here. Alright. Also, Varric, you're going to get an injury kit from me. What? No more Templars? How unusual. There's some loot. Oh, well. So much for that. Okay, let me go and deal with the Templar Lieutenant. There we go. You're using Crushing Prison, hopefully on him. Nope. You've been using it on somebody else. Well, fair enough. Put a glyph down somewhere around there. Whoa, they just keep spawning right in front of me. Damn it. Alright, that lineup calls for a cone of cold, right? Beautiful. And yeah, I will continue with the lieutenant. Also, I could summon my dog, right? Let's taunt them so they go for me. They just keep spawning right in front of me. I don't believe it. Here, have some fire to greet you. No, like so, right. Yeah, that's an interesting thing happening here. Let's use a Holy Smite. Alright, yeah, Templar Lieutenant is almost dead. There we go. And now the rest of them. Oh, that's the Templar Hunter. Let me try to silence the guy. That didn't work. Also, Bethany, I think you don't have to be right in the middle of this. Let's give her mana and put down a glyph, just in case there are more coming next. There we go. Ah, what a mess. What a mess. Yeah, let's pick up all the loot. And there's a corpse over here. Oh! What's going on in here? Damn it! Arcane horror, alright. And somehow some traps. And of course the arcane horror just changed over here. Okay, let's try to stop him from casting his stuff. You can put a glyph down. And I will deal with him. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Let's take a potion here, right? And oh damn it, that stuff is dangerous. Please heal me. I really want to finish off this guy before he casts something else, like he's trying to do now. I will try to cleanse you. Yes, that worked. And now he's over here. Yep. Crushing Prison is almost cooled down. Who set up all those traps? Seriously. They were not here before. Okay, I'm almost done with the horror. There we go. Okay, Varric. Why can't I use a quick heal? This is so annoying. Take some Elfwood potions directly into your quick bar and use it, please. And yeah, I'm going to jump right in here. Okay. Is that all of them? Jeez. Okay, let's have a look around. Templar Ceremonial Cummerbund. Alright. Oh, this is Meredith's office, right? And this was Orsino's office. Let's open this chest as well. Dreamcatcher. Mark of the Fallen. Don't really need that. Okay, let's continue. I think I'm afraid I will have to check out the other places as well. I mean, there's some decent stuff in here.
Happy now?
Yep, very happy. Let's quick save. Oh, wow! 2 pride demons. Well, charming. Okay, let's deal with them. I don't really mind pride demons as much usually. I mean, they're big, but they're not as dangerous as they seem, to be honest.
Let's finish this.
I mean, oh, they already killed that one. Let's see, for all their size, they actually die pretty quickly. And now we have a bunch of shades here as well. Put it around here. And I will taunt them. Ah, that worked pretty well. Now let's finish off the Pride Demon. There we go. And now we can deal with the shades. Look at that group of shades. They just want to be cone of colded. Yes, I just made that into a warp.
Now you fall.
There we go. Yeah, I probably should help my rogues over here. They're in a bad spot. I think we're doing fine here. And now this one. Get away from Varric, please. Varric, be careful, there's something behind you. Alright. And that's it. Well. This place has become interesting. Shield of the Resolute. And a bunch of potions. Well, I'll take them. The problem with the shield is I can't enchant it. It has 2 rune slots, but I can't enchant it anymore. Okay, so I think we have cleared out everything in here. I can't open this door. I checked out all of these places, so... I guess we can go to the gallows now. Right, quick save, and off we go.
And here we are, champion. At long last.
Yeah, I guess you've been waiting for this.
I imagine you've wanted to be rid of me for some time.
I bear you no ill will. You've done this to yourself. You are no mage, but in supporting them, you've elected to share their fate.
Knight Commander, I thought we intended to arrest the champion.
You will do as I command, Cullen.
No. I defended you when Thrask started whispering you were mad, but this is too far.
I will not allow insubordination.
Uh-oh.
We must stay true to our path.
What?
Andraste's dimpled butt cheeks.
You recognize it, do you not? Pure lyrium, taken from the deep roads. The dwarf charged a great deal for his prize.
She was the one who bought the idol? Ah, damn it. Well, that explains a lot of things.
It seems a lot more sword-like than I remember.
All of you! I want her dead!
Enough! This is not what the Order stands for. Knight Commander, step down.
Wow.
I relieve you of your command.
Didn't expect that.
My own Knight Captain falls prey to the influence of blood magic. You all have. You're all weak. Allowing the mages to control your minds, to turn you against me. But I don't need any of you. I will protect this city myself.
Yeah, I think she completely lost it now.
You'll have to go through me.
Oh, thank you,
Idiot
Cullen.
boy. Just like all the others.
She's lost it, just like Bartrand.
Yep, she's lost it.
Blessed are those who stand before the corrupt and the wicked, and do not falter!
So, this is it. Final battle, I guess, against a very strangely looking possessed Meredith. Alright, let's do this. We can start with a crushing prison. And I mean, I have all those potions, so I think this is as good a time as any to use them. I give some rock armor potions to my squishy guys. Maybe a life ward potion to Bethany once she casts the crushing prison. And I will take a mighty offense potion. There we go. And now she can get a life ward potion. And let's go! Hang on a second. Oh, he's fighting on our side. Well, that's good. Okay. And let's continue. Okay, that's Evelyn. It's really only Meredith right now. Alright, I think we can handle that.
Maker, your servant begs you for the strength to defeat this evil.
What is she doing now? I knew it would have been too easy to fight just Meredith, I guess? Alright, so we're going to fight these things now. Right. What is this anyhow? Can I attack it? Yes, I can. Gate Guardian. Okay, I see Fenris. Fenris and Evelyn have joined. And yeah, that's Cullen. Alright, yeah, let's go and attack the Gate Guardian. Right. Oh, pretty well. And Gate Guardian's dead. So, what now, Meredith? Ah, she's coming. And apparently she turned into Superwoman now. Very strange. Okay, let me have a look. Crushing prisoners on cooldown. It's probably no use trying to paralyze her, but maybe we can give her a cone of cold. Where is she anyway? She's inside the Gate Guardian. I can't barely see her. Well. And I think he's gone again. Okay, apparently it's the next Gate Guardian now. Alright. Yeah, it's another Gate Guardian. Okay, let's I don't know. I don't know anymore. Also, oh, Zevran! Zevran is helping us as well. That is very, very noble of you, Zevran. I didn't even ask you to do that, but you did it anyway. Alright, that's nice. I'm stuck on the column. Let me attack that thing. You know, the Gate Guardians, they even look a bit like Meredith. That's interesting. Alright, it's dead. Oh no, now she's throwing the small ones at us, the slave statues. Alright. Well, let's see if you're running out of statues before we run out of health. And Meredith is back again. Alright. Let's go for her. Oh, what's she doing now? Not much, it seems. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to kill the slave statues first, so maybe I go and deal with them first. Yeah, they're still alive. But let me take care of them. I mean, my friends are all doing pretty well. But yeah, I think we should probably get rid of the statues first and then deal with Meredith again. Look at all those dead statues lying around. I think you can get a restoration potion, you can get a stamina draught, and I will continue this one. There we go. And she's even found some more statues to summon, apparently. Alright. Don't even know where they come from. They seem to be coming out of the wall. That is really, really strange. Alright, so what is that? It looks very strange. Let's kill it. Yeah. Apparently Meredith is over here now again, so we have no choice but to deal with the Gate Guardians anyway. Bethany, I think I need some of your help. Let's try if we can paralyze at least some of them. Yeah, it seems to work on the statues anyway. Alright, that is dead. So we have another one over here. Maybe let's get rid of the Gate Guardian first. Alright, I think it's dead. So many statues! Damn it! Okay, that one is dead. That one is almost dead, so let's attack it next. Yeah, you can give me a cone of cold in between. Let me finish off the Gate Guardian. Okay, can I attack you? Oh, you're already dead. Whoa, what's going on now?
It's
Is
not
she...
enough that they make innocents suffer. No, we must also have insult added to injury. Spare the mages, give them freedom, and they would use it to tear down everything we hold dear.
Okay, so apparently...
No, it cannot be allowed. I will stop it. Do you hear me, champion? I will defeat you.
We're conveniently stunned so that she could have a villain monologue. Although Evelyn, she wasn't stunned, so she could actually continue to fight her. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I should just go for Meredith and be done with it. I mean, when she is dead, the statues should be easy to kill, or maybe just die anyway. Yeah, you can deal with the statues over here. But I think she needs to go away.
How does it feel, champion, to know I hold the life of one? Now you fall.
I don't even know what you're talking about. Oh, I see what you're meaning now. Well, how do you even know about that? I mean, well, I guess probably Juno and Isabella are probably not the most subtle about it. Yeah, take a restoration potion. I don't mind Meredith. I have enough potions for this fight. You can't do anything. Yeah, I think... I'm not sure if I'm actually doing any damage to her. So, probably back to the statues. Oh no, she's going for Evelyn. Well, Evelyn is not even in my party, so I can't heal her anyway and stuff like that, so... Yeah, just you go on ahead and we will continue with the statues over here. I mean, she's probably supposed to do some sort of routine here and attacks. Oh, there we go.
I will not be defeated!
Uh-huh.
Make her hate your humble servant!
Well, if that was the Maker's answer, and I think it was pretty clear. She just... petrified. Alright, so is she dead? Oh, come on, please, don't. Don't! Well, thank you. At least someone with a little bit of sanity left. And now we just walk away. Alright.
Word of the slaughter spread quickly. The champion's name became a rallying cry, a reminder that the mighty Templars could be defied. She had defended the mages against a brutal injustice, and many lived to tell the tale. The circles rose up and set the world on fire.
Great.
More Templars arrived at Kirkwall to restore order, but we were already long gone. We vanished into the hills, and circumstance eventually forced us all to leave the champion's side. Well, all of us except for Isabella. You still hear the stories, of course. With each telling they grow, even if, at the core, remains the truth. A new legend had been born. So that's it. That's the whole story.
Then Meredith provoked the circle. She was to blame.
Or that damned idol was. Or Anders. take your pick.
Even so, had the champion not been there...
It might never have even gone that far.
I see.
So how is hearing all this going to help? You've already lost all the circles. In fact, haven't the Templars rebelled as well? I thought you decided to abandon the Chantry to hunt the mages.
Not all of us desire war, Varric. Please, if you know where the champion is, you must tell me. She is a hero. A woman that the mages would listen to. Someone who was there at the beginning. The champion could stop this madness before it's too late. She may be the only one who can.
Is that what this is all about? In that case, I wish I could help you.
Just tell me one thing, then. Is the champion dead?
Though, I doubt that.
Then you are free to go, Varric. May the Maker watch over you during the dark times ahead of us.
Same to you, Seeker. Same to you.
Alright, so I guess this is really it.
So, did you...
Gone. Just like the Warden.
That is no coincidence.
So, do we proceed with the original plan? Or keep looking?
It is in the Maker's hands now. We put our faith in him.
Achievement unlocked, Conqueror. And yeah, there we go. It's the credits. Achievement unlocked, epic. So apparently, yes, we have finished the game. And I assume the credits will roll for a while. So this is actually a good opportunity to, you know, give my final verdict on the game. And I may have to mute the credits again because that song is most likely copyrighted and I don't want to get into any copyright claim trouble here. So yeah, I'm going to mute the credits. But yeah, let's talk about the game. So yeah, where do we start? Now, if you have been watching my Origins Let's Play, or in particular the last episode of Origins where I gave my final verdict on that game, you may remember that I had a lot of good things to say about Origins and a few points of criticism. Ironically, Dragon Age 2 improved most of the things that I criticized about Origins, but sadly, some of the things that I really liked about Origins were not as good in this game. So maybe let's start with the stuff that I thought was improved. First of all, gameplay, combat. I think I said that the Origins combat was still a bit, you know, clunky. It felt a bit outdated. And I really liked the combat in this game. It was fast, it was fluid, it was fun. Maybe a little bit too fast. Sometimes you didn't really know what was going on. But overall, I quite enjoyed it. I can see that some people might disagree if they preferred the slower, more RPG style of combat of Origins and the more, you know, complex combat. But I mean, if you watched me play Origins, I played a warrior and I played on easy, or well, later normal in the game. So I basically just hit stuff until it died and occasionally used some of my companions. And I basically did the same thing in this game, except, you know, it felt a bit more, you know, energetic and fast. And I really liked that. So, yeah, that's a good thing. Other points that I criticized about Origins were overly long missions. They changed that as well. The missions were a bit more shorter and more to the point. Some still had a bit too much fighting going on before you actually got anywhere, but not nearly as bad as some of the Origins mission. Yeah, I'm looking at you, Deep Roads. So that's an improvement. Also, I wasn't as dependent on some specialists like the lockpicking rogue. I could just, you know, give them cunning and be done with it. I still used Anders a lot as a healer, but overall I thought the characters were more balanced, so again this was an improvement for me. Now let's talk about the other stuff that I thought was not an improvement, but was actually worse in this game. And I think the one big point that I want to mention here is, the writing or story in general. Now, the impression that I get from the story is that the writers wrote it like they would write a story for a book or a movie. They had a very, very specific idea of how the story was supposed to go and how it should end. And apparently they must have been very, very convinced of that story, because they held on to it very, very tightly, and they didn't want to hand over control over the story to the player, at least in terms of the main story. And I mean, such as it is, I would say it was not a bad story. It was basically a tale about how blind fanatism and prejudice and hatred can drive a society over the edge. And yeah, that's not a bad story. I mean, there's a lesson to be learned here. But everything was so predetermined that your decisions eventually felt very, very hollow, because nothing you did really could change that. And that's what I mean by they wouldn't give you control over the story like they did in Origins. In Origins you had much more freedom to write your own story, and in this game you kinda had to play the writer's story. And it's not what you were expecting from this game. Like I said, it would have been a good story for a book or a movie or a computer game that just wanted to tell a linear story. So yeah, coming from Origins, obviously it was a bit disappointing that you basically were just playing the story that the writers wanted you to do. Especially since they sometimes, people had to react kind of strangely or do weird stuff so that it worked out for the story. Especially in the later part of the game, where some things just didn't make any sense anymore. And yeah, sure, you could make decisions at points, but if the decisions kind of diverged from the story the writers had intended, they had to force them back into the main track, so to speak. Just for example, the mages in the caves that I rescued, you had the opportunity to turn them over to the Templars or to let them go. And I let them go, and the next time I visited the gallows, they were there anyway, because they have been captured. So I think it would have been the same if I had just turned them over. Or, I decided not to help Anders with his quest, but in the end it wasn't necessary in the first place. He still blew up the Chantry. So again, a completely pointless decision. And I'm sure if I would replay the game and do some other decisions, I would find that the result would still be the same. And that's a bit disappointing. I even feel that the final part of the game, when you had to side with the Templars or the mages, that it didn't matter. I think what I'm going to do, it's still a few days until I'm going to start Inquisition. I will go back to the last save before the final fight. And then I will replay the end of the game on the Templar side. Just, for me, out of curiosity, to see what's actually different about that. And I have the suspicion it's barely any different at all. Just that I'm on the other side. I mean, I still had to fight Orsino even when siding with the mages. And that whole plot development at the end with the Lyrium idol, that was a bit too important to be left out if you side with the Templars. So I'm going to assume even if you side with the Templars, you will still have to fight Meredith at the end. Maybe in a different order, maybe first Meredith, then Orsino, I don't know. But I feel that it's probably going to be more or less the same. And yeah, then why make those decisions in the first place if they don't matter? So they couldn't really decide between giving you a linear story and at the same time giving you decisions that were supposed to be difficult, but in the end turned out to be pointless. So that would be probably my one big point of criticism about the story. It's a bit different with the side quests or the companion quests, for example, and that is actually a thing that I liked about the game. You had much more story content with each companion. I feel that in Origins you could talk to them more. They had a lot of stuff to say about their history and about other topics. But the personal quests in Origins, they were all pretty short and some of them a bit trivial. And most of them just followed the same formula. You had to find something or someone for that person, and after you did, you spoke a bit to them about it, and that was it. Like, you had to find Alice's sister and Stan's sword, and Marjolaine for Liliana, and that elven boy for Win, and so on. And I mean, they were interesting, but they were pretty much over in a few minutes, some of them. But in this game you actually had, ongoing stories of your companions. And that is actually one point of the game where they used the large time frame the game took place a bit better, since, the stories kept going on in each act. So that is definitely something that I enjoyed. I also have a feeling that with the companion quests, that's actually a thing where you can influence stuff, at least for some of them. Obviously, I think Anders is just a lost case. He will always go crazy no matter what you do. And also Meryl, I already mentioned, the thing about the Arulenholm, that probably didn't matter. But for example, somebody told me in the comments that there's a possibility that Isabella isn't actually coming back with the book at the end of Act 2, depending on your friendship or rivalry score. Or for example, that Fenris can actually be persuaded to become a bit less hostile against magic if you go the rivalry route. So I guess this is actually something where you can influence stuff and where you have actual consequences from your actions and decisions. Whereas the main story was just, like I said, on rails towards a very specific point, and no matter what you did, you couldn't change a thing about the story. But the companion missions definitely a good part of the game, and pretty much done well for the most part, and definitely better than in Origins, where the companion missions were just, pretty trivial most of the times. So yeah, since we're speaking about companions, maybe let's just speak about all of them in detail. Just a few thoughts on every character. Let's maybe start in the order in which they appeared. So the first one would be Bethany. Well, technically Varric, because he was the narrator of everything, but he only joined my party later. Bethany! Yes, I really liked Bethany. I liked Bethany because she was just a normal person, She wasn't as hyperbolic as some of the other characters. And she actually reminded me a lot of my own sister, which is probably another reason why I liked her. I also think that while she was only there for like half the game, and she wasn't as fleshy as some of the other characters, I think she's a very important character to define Juno, because, she had a very good relationship to her sister, and I think that, more than anything else, shaped her views on mages and magic. Because, she was like the most gentle and kindest person in the world. And when, other people, when they look at the mage, some of them, they just see the blood magic, or the demons, or the abominations that could possibly come out of there. But I think when Juno looked at the mage, she always saw her sister in there, and that's kinda, shaped her character a lot. And the next character we met was Evelyn. And yeah, Evelyn, I liked her as well, as you probably know. Again, she was relatively normal. I also like the fact that we finally got, a female warrior that didn't die right after the intro, like, you know, Myri in Awakening. And, you know, what I liked about her, that she was very, you know, down to earth and a normal person trying to live her life with, you know, having relationships. And you know, her personal quest with Donick was just one of the funniest in the game, and that's why I even forgive them for not making her a romance option, because that quest was just too good. And I think Juno also liked Evelyn very much because I think she admired, you know, her integrity. The next person would be Varric, I guess. We met him in Kirkwall. Yeah, Varric was amazing. He was a bit the guy for the comical relief in this game, I feel. But they didn't stop there. They gave him a bit of a deeper character and more interesting aspects to his character than just, you know, being the funny guy. But yeah, I definitely enjoyed him and liked to have him around. He was always good for some of the best party banter. And again, he was not as hyperbolic as some of the other characters, and I liked his, you know, relaxed approach to all the madness in that was around us. I'm not exactly sure who we picked up next. It might have been Meryl or Fenris. Let's continue with Fenris, I guess. I thought it was an interesting idea to bring in an elf that wasn't exactly a city elf. I mean, I guess you could say he grew up in a city Winter, but he was not just any city elf. He was a slave, and he wasn't a Dalish elf either. As a matter of fact, he wasn't very fond of them. I had that feeling. So, you know, bringing in an elf that was different from the elves we knew so far. And the whole slave aspect was interesting. I think I already mentioned it. I think they went a bit too far with all his sad and tragic background. For example, the thing about his lyrium markings, I honestly felt that was unnecessary. Especially since we never really got to know more about them. There were like 1 or 2 sentences implying that he actually wanted them, but that was it. No more exploration of that. So it felt a bit gimmicky. I think they could have told, you know, the story about slavery without using those lyrium markings or whatever. I guess it was also, you know, a gameplay aspect, since they kinda were responsible for his special skills. But, you know, if you bring in something like that, then maybe you should go a little bit deeper into that issue. Also, and apparently I am partially to blame for this myself, I felt that he had very little character development. And I say I'm to blame for that because I went the friendship route. Apparently when you go rivalry, he does, you know, change his views a little bit. And that would actually explain a bit better why he would side with you at the end. Because I was really surprised that he did that. That seemed to come out of nowhere. The last time I spoke with Fenris, he was extremely bitter and extremely hostile towards magic and mages. So I was surprised that just out of nowhere he would actually help me defend the mages. I guess you could say that on the rivalry path he sides with you because he actually changed some of his views, and on the friendship path he does it because, you know, he considers you his friend. Okay, Meryl. Yeah, I think in case of Meryl, they kinda went, you know, for the cute factor. And maybe they did it a little bit too much. I mean, I understand, they kinda went for the, okay, we're back at the main screen, but I will continue doing my review. So Meryl, they went for cuteness and for some sort of, you know, fish out of water aspect, since she was a Dalish that suddenly had to live among humans. Very interesting, interesting concept, but it didn't really explain why she was so clueless about some things like sex, for example. I mean, she was the first of her keepers, so you would think she knows a little bit more about some stuff like that. I don't know how Dalish treat that subject, but it was obviously, they wanted to be the character kinda a bit, clumsy and stuff like that, but it didn't really fit the fact that she was like the first of a keeper. And I mean, you met her in the Danish Origins, and of course, it was only a very short amount of time that you spent with her, but she didn't seem like the person in Awakening in Dragon Age 2 at all. So yeah, she was kind of funny at times, and her cluelessness was kind of funny at times. But again, a good idea taken a little bit too far. Also, I totally realized that I've forgotten to speak about Anders. I'm pretty sure we met him before Meryl. Yes, Anders. Of course, Anders is a difficult thing to talk about because of what happened at the end. First of all, I think the idea to bring back Anders, but not just as Anders, but merge with Justice, was actually pretty brilliant and pretty bold too. And I mean, Anders was fun in Awakenings, but I can see that maybe he wouldn't have been, enough of a character to bring him back for a full game. So the idea of, giving the whole thing a twist by bringing basically back two characters from Origins merged into one was actually pretty good, in my opinion. The one thing that I would criticize about it is they should have made it more of a, progression maybe. Basically, when we met Anders for the first time, that couldn't have been more than a few months after he joined with Justice. But even at that point, there was barely anything left of the Anders that we knew from Awakening. There were a few moments and glimpses within the game where the old Anders kind of broke through, but for the most time, he was more like a Justice was in Awakening than he was like Anders. And I think they could have made this more of a progression. So you meet Anders the first time in Kirkwall, and he is still quite a bit like Awakening Anders, and then slowly changes into Justice over the course of the game. I think that would have been much more interesting. I mean, he did change in the fact that he became even more radical from act to act. But he already started off like, very, very broody and serious and, not the fun-loving and easygoing mage from Awakening. And it didn't really help that they changed his voice actor, because his old voice actor really, emphasized Anders' character as he was in that game. Other than that, yeah, I do still think it's a bold move, especially seeing how it ended, to, just turn your companion into a terrorist, basically. I think it's especially interesting if you're romancing him. I mean, I may try the Anders romance just to see how that evolves over the course of the game, and what this would actually change in the way the end of the game happens. Okay, what characters do we still need to talk about? Sebastian and Isabella. Let's start with Isabella. Yes, of course, she was my romance, so I liked her. Again, she was very, very funny, and her party banter, especially with Evelyn, was some of the best. I also liked that she, in fact, had a bit of a character development when, she came back in the end of Act 2, showing a bit of selflessness. That, was actually unlikely of her, and you could say that was a bit of a development in her character. Also, she got more fond of Juno in the end, and her casual approach to relationship changed a little bit. She was talking about love and stuff. So yeah, I like that a lot, because like I said, Fenris didn't really change much over the game. He was that broody mage hating elf in the beginning, and he basically was a broody mage hating elf at the end as well. Varric didn't really change much. Evelyn, you could say, did change a little bit as she settled down a little bit more, and she started a relationship with Donick. But Isabella, I thought she actually had a decent character development in the game. And finally Sebastian. Yeah, to be honest, I never really got Sebastian, and the way he worked. And that's not just because I never really got anywhere in terms of friendship and rivalry with him. I see that he basically had those two aspects. On the one hand, you know, the guy seeking vengeance for his family, and on the other hand, that extremely pious Chantry believing persona. And somehow I never really could, you know, see how those two persons connected. They were just, you know, both of them were kind of there, and it's fine. I mean, people have sometimes complex personalities, and they don't really have to be just, you know, about one thing. But somehow I never really made that connection. I always only saw Matt, you know, the Chantry guy. And whenever he was like the Vengeance guy, it seemed a little bit out of character. I think they didn't really do a good job at combining these two aspects of his character into a good whole persona. And, you know, apparently the way his rivalry and friendship system works, if you go the friendship route, he becomes more of the Chantry persona, and if you go rivalry, he becomes more of the Vengeance persona. So maybe it's because I never got anywhere with him that he kind of remained somewhere in the limbo, and I never really got to know his character as well as I could have. Yeah, maybe let's speak a bit of the friendship rivalry system. First of all, I thought it was a great idea to say, okay, you know, people don't always have to agree with each other without hating each other. So the concept, I think, was pretty unique. Obviously, the problem was that if you ended up in the middle, that was supposed to be bad, and it was kind of counterintuitive, because it basically means, okay, if you disagree with somebody on almost everything, then you can gain his loyalty. But if you disagree with somebody only on a few things, while agree on other things, you end up somewhere in, you know, the limbo of indifference, and you don't get someone's loyalty. And that doesn't really make any sense, does it? Also, there was a bit of luck involved, taking someone to the right missions. Or if you look at Fenris, for example, I managed to get full friendship with Fenris. I spoke to him very early in the game, like right after recruiting him. And, you know, I just met this character, so I was nice to him, supportive. And I walked out with like 20 friendship. And at that point, I didn't really want to go rivalry anymore, because I wasn't sure if I would have been able to make it. And I did a bit of metagaming, I guess, keeping him away from missions that involve Templars and mages, so that I wouldn't get more rivalry. And that way I was able to gain the friendship. But yeah, I think if you know how the system works, and you know, okay, if I go rivalry, I may actually be able to, you know, change some of their views. And if you play it consciously and try not to take people to certain missions, I guess it's a good system. But for a blind run, especially coming out of Origins, where you always wanted to get approval, you may be a bit confused and overwhelmed by the system. And another thing that I wanted to mention about the companions, it was a bit sad that so many of them didn't get along with each other. I mean, you had it as well in Origins, but it didn't really feel as bad. I mean, you mainly had Morrigan and Alistair, and even them, it was just fun to hear them bicker at each other, while some of the party banter in this game was a bit cringeworthy to hear, especially when, you know, people talking to each other that didn't really like each other. It didn't help that, you know, all your companions lived in their own places. I mean, it made sense because, you know, it was a city and they had their own lives. But your team never really felt as a team. They were just, you know, random people, and their only connection were the fact that they were all friends of Hawk, with some exceptions. For example, Isabella had the habit of turning up at other people's places, like Fenris, or speaking to Meryl, or speaking to Evelyn. And Varric got along with pretty much everyone as well. but other than that, there was so much hostility in your group. It was a bit awkward at times. Like, Anders didn't like Fenris, of course. Anders didn't like Meryl because she was a blood mage. Fenris didn't like Meryl and was very hostile towards her. Anders, for some reason, also didn't like Evelyn because, I don't know, she represented the guard, and for him that was like the next worst thing to Templars. I have no idea. Anders didn't like Isabella because she wouldn't take sides. So, yeah, lots of hostility going on. And that's why I liked, you know, Varric and Isabella and Evelyn and Bethany, because they got along with each other. And that was just a pleasant thing. Anyway, I guess you could talk more about other aspects of the game, like reused locations, but to be honest, I don't really mind it that much. It's a bit poor showing for a AAA game, but I can live with that, you know. I liked the way Kirkwall looked like, however, since you spent all the time in that city, it got a bit boring after a while, so I know that in Inquisition I will get a very, very different setting with lots of open world to explore, so I'm actually looking quite forward to that after being confined to Kirkwall for all this time. And yeah, speaking of Inquisition, I will start this in a few days. I will take a few days break. I haven't fully decided when I'm going to upload the first episode yet, but once I upload this video I will probably leave a comment and say when the first upload of Inquisition will happen. There will be one more video before I do Inquisition, and that is going to be the Dragon Age Keep video. I have to input my decisions into the Dragon Age Keep, and I will do this on camera. And yeah, I will probably do it after replaying the end of the game on the Templar side, so I can actually let you know what I think about the Templar ending. But yeah, I think I have spoken long enough now. This episode is slowly nearing 1 hour. I think the final episode of Origins was also an hour long because of my long final verdict. But yeah, let's just summarize my verdict. I think it was not a bad game. If it hadn't been a Dragon Age game, it would have been fine. But to me, the great problem of the game is that you came in here expecting to, you know, have decisions and are able to influence the story, and you couldn't. It was just always going to get worse and worse, and you could never do anything to make things right, except for some minor side quests, I guess. There was actually something where you could improve the situation. But in the grand scheme of things, everything just got worse, and you could do nothing to stop it. So yeah, I'm not sure if this is supposed to be some very pessimistic and very sad metaphor of real life, but you know, I just prefer when I play a game and they give me decisions, and I want my decisions to actually matter. And they didn't. So we'll see how this will work out in Inquisition. But other than that, I still had fun playing it. It had some great moments. It also had some very weird and weak moments that didn't make any sense at all. And general rule, sometimes they just took it too far. They had good ideas and then took it too far. And that's basically my final verdict on this game. Good game, but far, far, far too much hyperbole. So yeah, Inquisition up next. Very excited about that. I hope you enjoyed this game, even if, you know, most people think that it was not as good as Origins as a game. I hope you still enjoyed watching this. Thank you for that. Thank you for all your comments you left, and thank you for all the likes. It's been quite a ride for me up until this point, and I'm very excited to continue playing through the Dragon Age franchise. So thank you all, and see you again next time.